Hey guys, welcome back. Jessie here. So today we're going to be speaking about the process of forgiving and learning how to forgive yourself and learning how to forgive others. So the first part of the process is learning how to feel your feelings and giving yourself permission to feel the emotions that you feel once you go through a disappointment. So a lot of the times people want to rush through their process, their healing process, or they just don't want to deal with it, right? So they submerge themselves in people and superficial things, and they are not truly feeling their feelings, which causes problems later down the line because you never learn how to, release those pent-up emotions. So that's step one, learning how to truly feel your feelings. Don't push it away. Don't bury it deep down inside. Don't label yourself as weak. Don't label yourself as this is wrong, that I feel this. Just allow yourself to completely feel your feelings. Let them out. Cry if you have to. Release it. Release, release, release. And don't rush yourself. Sometimes, learning how to forgive a person takes time, and learning how to forgive yourself takes time. So do not rush the process. If it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be, learn how to truly release and be okay with the time frame that it's happening in, and do not rush your healing process. And once you truly release all those feelings, you have to understand that once the physical pain is gone, it is completely gone. A lot of people get trapped in this step, and it's because once the physical pain is gone or the person is gone, if you had a person who has done something to you and they're physically gone and you have physically released them, you keep them in your energy field by not forgiving, by holding on to that pain emotionally and in your heart and in your mind. So you have to think about forgiving like this. Would you allow someone to come in your space and steal your personal belongings and things you work so hard for? Like let's say there was like a robber, a physical robber. Would you open the door and say, hey, come on in and welcome yourself to everything I have here? I work so hard for it, but it's all yours. No, you would never say such a thing. You would protect your space. You would never allow an intruder to come into your space and intrude upon your personal belongings and steal your items. So you have to think about forgiving in the same way. Don't allow someone to steal your peace of mind. Don't allow someone to come into your mind, someone to come into your emotions, and someone to come into your heart and stay there. Do not hold space for those individuals. Don't allow anyone or any circumstance to take up space within your mind and your emotions when they truly don't deserve it, okay? So once you have released them physically, work on releasing them emotionally and mentally. Learning how to reconnect with spirit and your higher self. So you can do this in different ways. You can pray. You can, pray to whoever you pray to, or you can meditate, or just have that alone time with yourself. Learn how to reconnect with your higher self. Learn how to have time in silence and stillness just for you. So after you start reconnecting with spirit, it's actually going to take you directly into the next step. And the next step is when you start realizing that we are spiritual beings living a human experience. So a lot of people say that, and it's like, what the heck does that mean, right? So a lot of people throw out phrases and they sound good, but what does it really mean? So what that really means is we are souls. That's truly what that means in a fancy way of dressing it all up. So we are here on a soul journey. We all have a soul's purpose. And our purpose, no matter who you are, is for our souls to elevate, right? So once you start realizing that we are here for a deeper meaning and here to learn and grow, you'll start coming into awareness of the next phase, right? Which is understanding that everything happens for a reason, right? So if you truly believe that we are spiritual beings, here on earth, and we have a soul, and our soul is constantly evolving and elevating, then you'll understand that you're going to come into contact with other individuals who are here to teach you and help you grow. So everyone we encounter, okay, there's always a dynamic of teacher and student, right? There's always a dynamic of that. We are either learning from them or we are either teaching them. So every single day you're learning something, you're growing. And so you might come in contact, with other individuals who their sole purpose is literally to teach you something. So once you start realizing that, you're going to start realizing that, you're going to come into contact with individuals who are not here always to stay. They could come in and out of your life fast. They might be there a little bit longer. The saying of, people come into your life for a season, for a reason, for a lifetime. That is true. And if you truly believe that, that means you truly believe in your soul's evolution, because that's what your soul is doing. Every time you come into contact with an individual who is one of these people in your life, you have to realize that you can't always hold on to these people. They're not always going to go with you to the next phase, to the next part of your journey, right? They're there on your path, but that doesn't mean they are there to stay. They might be in your path to teach you something. They might be on your path to help you heal from something, right? And then there's others who teach you, but the lesson is not always smooth. You might have heard the saying that, the universe sometimes has to make you really uncomfortable to get you to move, to push you. Well, that saying is true. So every time you come into contact with an individual who hurts you, right, or disappoints you, or does something that just makes you not feel good, it might be for your soul's evolution. It might be because this lesson has come up before, but you might not have possibly grasped it. So you'll find in life you might, repeat the same cycles and same patterns, but they just live out with different individuals. And it's because the universe is sending these people and lessons over to you in different forms. So until you learn the lesson, which could be anything, it could be something that you need to heal within yourself. It might be self-awareness that you need to develop within yourself. It could be anything. But until you start realizing the pattern and start saying, hey, I really didn't like that. If you're not saying it, the universe is going to do it for you. It's going to create these people and create these scenarios in your life to get you to move, to get you to create, to get you to heal. Once you start realizing that, you're smoothly going into the next phase, which is the phase of self-awareness. So self-awareness is something great to practice, and a lot of people don't know how to do it. And a great way to get started is to start jotting down your experiences, right? So you can get a notebook and journal about what's happening in your life. And once you do that, you start switching from blaming to learning. Now you're not so focused on this individual, what they did. You're slowly coming into awareness of getting away from that perspective of why did this happen to me, and more into, oh, okay, I'm starting to realize why this had to happen, right? You start realizing certain things about yourself, certain things maybe that you need to heal, certain things about yourself that you need to grow. Maybe you start becoming more mature. Maybe you start doing certain habits or patterns. You start asking yourself those deep, deep questions when you become self-aware and you start practicing self-awareness. And a great thing about journaling is that when you read it back, how far you come, you start realizing that you are healing, that you are coming into that place of forgiving yourself and forgiving others. And some of the questions you can ask is that, a lot of people ask the question of why this is happening to me, right? That's common. When bad things happen to a person, we all want to know why me, Why did it have to be me? Why did it have to be this way? Once you start becoming more self-aware, some of the questions you're going to start asking after you start releasing that blame is, well, what did I do to contribute to this? Or did I do something to contribute to this? And it could be anything, right? Just being attracted to a specific circumstance or person is a contribution, right? Questions like, how could I have done things differently? It's a great question to ask, and at the same time, it helps you become more aware of how you can do things differently in the future, right? What didn't I see about this situation in the very beginning, or this person? How could I have prepared myself differently? How could I have avoided this? In this situation, was I responding versus reacting? Was I coming from a place of hurt or pain? Was I coming from a place of not feeling good enough? So you start asking yourself these questions, right? So now the perspective, the mindset is not focused on whatever happened anymore. Now it's focused on how do I go forward? Now you're moving forward. Now you're learning how to release whatever has happened to you and learn how to learn from it. That's what you're doing when you're asking these questions and doing self-reflection. And then, once you start asking yourself those questions, you're going to start realizing that you did your best with the information and the knowledge that you had at that time, right? So that's okay, and you have to be okay with that. So sometimes, when we go back in hindsight and then we like, oh man, I wish I would have caught on to that, or I wish I would have did this differently, or I wish I would have known that then, but you didn't. And you have to come to terms with that, right? So you knew what you knew at that point in time, and now after this situation has happened, now it has strengthened you, it has grown you, and now you know better. Now you are wiser, you are, smarter, and you probably won't make the same choices or go down the same path or do things the same way. And that's how you truly know you've come into that place that you are evolving. This situation, or whatever it may be that disappointed you or you're trying to release and forgive, you start realizing that it happened for a reason. There was a reason for it, and it was there to teach you and help you. And sometimes it's not fun. The teacher sometimes is not fun. It might not be that fun lesson you want to learn, but if it wasn't there and it didn't happen the way it happened, think about it. Would you be as strong as you are now? Would you be as wise as you are now? Would you have really gained the lesson? Would you have really, so sometimes things have to happen a certain way, and sometimes it has to be super dramatic and super explosive for some people to really gain the lesson and to say, oh no, I didn't like that feeling, I'm never going to do that again, right? Sometimes it has to be so explosive and take you down that really dark side, that shadow side of yourself, that shadow side of life, to make you really want to get back up and see the other side and see the light, right? That's the way life is for certain people. Certain people go smooth sailing. Certain people have to learn those hard lessons in life. But once they do, understand this. So if you're someone that you're going through a hard time and something has happened to you that has really shaken your world and has rocked your foundation, I know that what? You learned your lesson, and you're never, ever gonna make the same choices again. And that's why it had to happen the way it happened. So guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope that you are in a situation that you are trying to release and you're trying to forgive. I hope these steps have helped you, and stay tuned for my next one. Bye.